black, herbal. Okay.
Man, so let's get back into this comedy. So like, I always tell people, yo, comedy damn near more dangerous than the rap game.
Ooh, oh my God.
We ran rooms together. Like, we used to be in these comedy streets together.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Out
every single night, going to like 2-3 different comedy clubs.
Yeah.
Going to Waffle House afterwards, just kicking it, and then still parking lot pimping, like, you know.
Afterwards.
Cause we was all unemployed at one point. Like, we formed the greatest like friendship, me, you, and Shaq, through adversity.
Yeah, we did.
Cause we were poor, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We was poor. All of us was unemployed at the same time, but having the best time of our lives.
We had a great time.
And so that's something my mama taught me like a while ago. So that's why I like try to soak in every moment. Cause I used to be like, Mom, remember we used to do this and we used to do that? Oh man, those were the good days. Like, we didn't even know those was the good days.
Didn't even know.
And she was like, that's why you gotta enjoy every moment, because you never know like when you living in the good days. So in the midst of us like being unemployed, having
bills behind,
homeless,
all kinds of
sleeping
stuff.
in the car.
My mortgage was behind.
Every night. Shoot. Nene figured out, I never told her about at one point in time, I was homeless, you know what I'm saying? But I used to have this laundry basket.
I didn't even know.
Yeah. I was homeless, but it was like every night, it was like, that's what kept me going. It was like, boy, as soon as like nightfall, as soon as it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock, we know like the show's about to start and stuff. And it's like, okay, another night to kick it again. So every single night we was like at the comedy clubs, and then we'll just be with a bunch of comedians. I mean, one thing I do love about like the comedy culture is like everybody like cool.
Yeah. Cool people.
And it's like you'll just be kicking. It'll be like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you still in front of the comedy club just posting up, kicking it, having roast sessions.
Roast sessions. I'm talking about the people who work in the club or the lounge or wherever. They've locked the doors. They swept the floors.
Big on.
Mop locked the doors. Big on, and we're still there.
Yeah.
And the police around you, and
we still kicking it like we ain't doing nothing.
Talking, but see, that's networking, and you'll have an opportunity. I've gotten more shows just by being on the scene.
That's true.
Than actually being on stage, to be quite honest.
And you taught me that, because people start like, you ain't getting on stage, you ain't getting a piece of this stage tonight. You know, that's what you don't want a piece of this stage. And then you'll be like, I'm just studying.
Yeah, that's important. That's an important part of the game too. To study.
Yeah.
Like anything that you pursue, you need to study it and continue your education. They have that at work, at these jobs.
Yes.
Why not? On the comedy scene or any art form.
And that's something you taught me, because I used to feel guilty for like going out and not getting on stage, and a part of it was fear for a long time. But it was like when I really started studying people, like oh, that's what make them funny. Oh, the way they said this, the way they moved their body with this word, the way they interacted with the crowd on this joke, and it was like, oh, okay, like it's really a formula. Like
it really is.
It ain't people just going up there winging it, because you do have to have a certain set in some order. Yeah. But it's like you could tell when people are. I'm like, they're performing. They know this word. I do this like it's an art.
Yeah,
you know.
It is art.
So, I started studying more, as like, instead of just always kicking and being outside, it's like, let me go inside and look, but there's certain comedians where like, it could be a fight going on outside, but when a certain comedian get on stage, it's like, oh, I'm finna go watch this.
Exactly.
It
don't even matter.
Watch them.
Like fuck what y'all talking about. I'm going in
this person on stage.
And they on fire too.
And we'll see them so many times around town, but it's like every time they get on stage, like I'm finna go watch them get on stage, And so like that's one thing I love about comedy, right? But
preach,
man, also some of the biggest haters I've ever met in my life. Like you'll be kicking it, thinking you cool with people. And we talked on the other episode about self-sabotage, how Nene was featuring one time. You know, they'll have a headliner, then they'll have a feature. So she was featuring for a big comedian, you know, and people was hating because they felt like she was too new to get that job. But the same person feeding her, the same people feeding her, telling her she's funny, she should have this opportunity.
Yeah, you gonna blow up.
Yeah, you should blow up. You should go on stage. Was hating on her.
Yeah.
How many times we done been at a comedy show and people done fought? I mean, fighting real.
I'm talking about bloodshed. I'm talking about
shirts off, like rumbling in the street, like. So many times I be like, you could go to a rap concert, then you go to a comedy concert, you probably gonna see a fight at the comedy club before you see something at this rap show.
They were fighting outside of my show one time. Oh, they're about to get ran over by a car.
People still talk about that to this day. Shout out to Ripset Comedy. We had a comedy troupe.
We did. Classic
it was
nights.
Me, Nene, and Shaq Double D. Y'all see him on my podcast sometimes.
Yes.
We held the West Side down. The West End Monday nights. We was at Bacardi's, and everybody know that was a legendary. Who knew? People still talk about that.
They still do.
They still talk.
And
about
then when
that.
I walk in, they be like Ripset.
Yeah, we became like synonymous together. Like Ripset. Whenever we would walk into like the comedy clubs, they called us by our group name, Ripset.
That's the power that our presence brought, and I'm grateful for that. That time we were together doing, you know, like our thing with the room and shooting skits. Like, I mean, that was just an amazing time.
You know, I just had this thought. So, you know, I be seeing like Country Wayne do his skits and stuff, and like these other creators do their skits and stuff. And so remember when we first started doing our skits, it was like we wasn't really getting no love because we were new. It was a new thing, and even though people were doing skits, we still kind of came late to it. But we found our lane. Yeah. So it was at one point in time where like maybe we'll get like 100 views on the skit, you know, and then you know it started going up. It started doubling, 200 views, and then it was like 1,000 views in a day, you know, and then it was like 5,000 views in a day. So it was growing, but we stopped, you know what I'm saying? Because it felt like we didn't have like a clear direction of what was going on. We didn't fully know like what was happening. And I realized we was just ahead of our time.
We were. We really were.
We was just ahead of our time, and it wasn't as many opportunities at the time we were in to like really do something with it. But it's like now I see people doing, I'm like, wow, because we shot over like 150 skits.
Man, I got a lot of them still on my phone. Like we shot a lot of skits, and then like, you know, I don't think we knew like all the proper technology to use for it. I remember calling somebody in the game that I thought was gonna be cool or whatever, and I'd be like, hey, well, what do you use to do this particular skit? I'm not asking you for content, I'm just asking what you use. And it was like a secret. They would get an attitude.
That was another reason why like we didn't like get as far, because a lot like the technology was a big thing. Like I'm not like the most technological person, so the way we were shooting our stuff was like different. So we didn't fully know how to shoot and edit and stuff like that. And like you said, people were withholding information from us to be able to take our stuff to the next level. But it's like, just give the information, because we would always share. People like, we shot a movie, and we was like, everybody can be in our movie.
Like you got TV credits. You have been on all these shows, and you withholding a program, a phone app to use. You know, no love lost or whatever. And I understand you gotta do your own research if you want it, but I've never been the kind of person. And you know, I've worked in corporate America, all that good stuff, and still, you know, got a day job, but. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. If I can give you a resource, I'm going to give you a resource. If I know somebody who does X, Y, and Z that would take your stuff to the next level, I want to see you win, because guess what? I ain't no hater.
But that's another thing about that comedy scene. It was like people, I'm noticing this, like I know now, people will know the power in you before you know the power in yourself.
Facts.
And people saw the power in us as a group and individually, which is why it was harder for us to get like certain information. And also, like if you're doing comedy, like, because this happened to Shaq, like Shaq featured for a comedian at Uptown as well. And the comedian told him, hey, you're really good, but you're too good, so I can't invite you back.
Yeah, you'll never feature
if you're too good. If you're too good, sometimes people won't invite you back.
They won't.
That's crazy.
They won't take you on the road. Or anything like that.
Because you still their shine.
Right. I've had a comedian tell me, like, we'll never work together again. You know why? Because you're making me work too hard as a headliner. Mm-hmm. But yet and still, I'm up here just trying to accomplish my own goal. Yeah. And honestly, I wasn't even really doing my real set. I was just working out new stuff.
Flex.
And this person told me, you will never work with me again on another show.
So these are the type of things that happen. They be saying like, oh, it could only be like one black comedian at a time.
Only a lot of female.
Only one female. It's truth to that, because like a lot of times people don't try to pull you up with them.
Yeah.
You know, they don't try to pull you up, and it's like, if you know I'm funny, you know I'm talented. Like, think about that. You know I'm good. You know I'm talented. You know I have what it takes, but you're not gonna work with me again because I have all of those things.
Yeah, because I'm challenging you to be a better you.
I can help you.
And you want to be lazy.
Yeah.
Hey, you can put me on the payroll. Yeah. I can write for you if you want me to.
And let's talk about that. So, the one thing I love and hate about social media is that it does expose you, but people stop giving creators credit.
Oh, true.
So, it's like, one thing I had to learn was stop sharing so much. So I don't share as much on social media as I used to.
Who told you that?
So many people.
Oh, okay.
It was so many of y'all getting on me like.
I was like, why are you putting that out there?
Yeah. But see, the thing is, I know what I was saying was gold because I'm being myself. I'm not knowing like, oh, this material, like it'll take y'all to see that, like stage material, take this off, delete it. Because I was like, man, I'll be putting out so much stuff like on a daily because it's like, it's just like a faucet to me. Like, and I just have so many ideas.
You're
like
a fountain of creativity. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. So, you know, and then people would steal the stuff by saying just like not. I'm like, there's a whole share button. You could share this, or you could even put like Kirby said this, or like, you know, put my name, tag me or something. But instead of people giving credit, a lot of people would steal from me. So I'm a victim of like just like a lot. It happens to everybody, but I got stolen from
a lot.
Like so much of my material. I even had a blog at one time called One Funny Chick, and I didn't pay I didn't know you had to like pay your fees, your hosting fees. So I didn't pay my hosting fees. So they deleted like my whole blog, and I couldn't recover it or whatever. So I was starting my blog back up. If this was God. I was typing in something. I typed in one of the titles to a blog I wrote, and it popped up, but it was on this other site.
Oh.
And it was like this girl. She was like this stud. She had like all of my blog on her blog, but she would like rename like the stuff. So it was still in the bio. Like So she stole like my whole blog.
Wow.
And I was just typing in something because it was still in one of the stories. I had wrote a short story, and she rechanged the title. But because I typed that in, the keyword, it was still in there. So I was able to find that. And it's like, God just did that. And then I messaged her. And then I got on Facebook and I told people, I showed, and everybody started going over there bullying her and stuff like that. So I was like, hold on. Don't bully her too bad.
Your people will take
my people held me down, but I was like, well, oh shit, let me get this real quick because I lost it. So I'm trying to copy and paste it real quick and stuff like that. And she wrote me this sob story. I was in the hospital when I used to always comment on your blog, but you never used to comment on me. I wasn't stealing. I was just a fan. I'm like, you wasn't stealing, but you renamed everything and put written by, because I had I had so much content
that's disheartening. And they acting like Stan. You remember that Eminem Stan?
Oh yeah.
Like, you ain't paying me no attention. I was trying to get you, and you just steal my shit.
Probably I would have never figured that out, but something in my spirit of all, like I wrote up for 200 blogs. Someone just like type this in, and I typed it in and found all my shit.
What's that little saying, like, the biggest form of flattery is imitation? Don't imitate me.
I don't like
don't
it.
steal from me.
I don't
steal
like
from
it.
me.
I don't like that shit. Don't steal from me.
Right. They won't even like your stuff, but they'll cut and paste and copy.
Or you ever do something? I think you wrote this too, because I used to always say that, but I think you just wrote a status like, you ever be doing something, but somebody, they don't never comment on the stuff you're doing, but when they see you, they talk about what you got going on?
Yeah. They do. And I just be like, what?
So you see me,
you won't comment or congratulate, but then you'll be like X, Y, and Z.
And trying to give you ideas. So you should do this, or you should do that.
Weird.
But you never say nothing about the content.